Well, back on the map, now we're gonna look at Cyprus. Technically, they say Cyprus is one of those Western Asian countries, but I kind of introduce it in Europe. They are, I think, like more tight with Europe than Asia. But yeah, let's go first with population is like 1.3 million people, as you can see. So, for such a tiny island, not so bad, I would say, but still. Look at this, the position here. Yeah, it's very close to Asia, but like I said, it's much more tightly with European, I would say. So yeah, we're gonna introduce it there. Well, let's go on the map and see how they're doing there. Now we're gonna see again much more civilized country, especially what we're coming from Africa. So things is gonna be different. Now here, this road, I'm not sure exactly where it goes, but doesn't look that well. I don't think they use it that much. So as you can see, they go probably in those remote beaches. Yeah, look at this, nice one. It looks great. I mean, unfortunately, those 360 doesn't look that great, but Cyprus looks very, very nice. I'm not sure exactly how many people go there in vacation and how expensive it is, but it does look nice. Like I say, it's a combination, if you don't know, between Greece and Turkey. They have disputes here on this territory for quite a while. Yeah, half of the island is under Turkish control, and the other half is under Greek control, as you can see here on the flags. It's a strange things there, but things not so bad there, as we can see. Well, main thing that I know about them, it's have kind of low taxes comparing with the rest of Europe at least. And even the UK has some territory here. I think they use it as a military base, but they have it. Wow, that's nice sand dunes here. Looks pretty good. I like it. That's really nice. I'm not sure exactly for a Turkish person, for example, if it's better to live here than the mainland, I guess, Turkey. And same for the Greece, it's better than the mainland Greece. Greece, I know, is not exactly that. They don't have the finest moments right now. But Turkey, it's also not in a best position. So yeah, it's interesting to see. But I think it might be an actually nice compromise living here. I'm not sure exactly, but salary, from what I understand, seems to do pretty well. Like I said, low taxes. The environment looks very nice in here. I mean, it's just pretty nice place to live. Not sure exactly how affordable it would be here, but it's nice. And this home affordability, it's nonsense to me. When they have so much lands, you should give it away to people to construct and have a really low, let's say, bureaucracy to actually build houses, not waiting for some developer to just build an apartment buildings, which it sucks in the first place. So yeah, that could be easy fix, I would say, the housing crisis, especially in this country which have like big lands. Yeah, in the Western Europe, a bit more difficult, but not impossible, not at all. Especially the population go down, and you're gonna have that huge wealth transfer between parents and kids. So yeah, that would be, I think, probably by the half of the century, we're gonna be done with this. Well, it's pretty big. With this housing crisis. So yeah, probably by 2050, we're gonna see some really improvements there, and yeah, probably it's gonna be almost history by after 2050, when everybody is gonna have pretty much at least one house. Easy in my opinion. Wow, this one looks pretty good here. I mean, like, those are new neighborhoods. They have nice roads, nice low fences, nice houses. Looking pretty good. Pretty good. I like those flowers here. Looks very nice. Unfortunately, the house is a bit on the big side to me, I would say. It's a bit too much. But yeah, that's everyone has a pool there, looking pretty good. Like I said, it's interesting to see how well they're doing here comparing with the mainlands Turkey and Greece. That's a question for those people in Greece and Turkey to answer, in my opinion. But it could be very nice. I mean, look at this. It's huge. I think the capital is Nicosia, if I'm not mistaken. But again, even that is like one half of the streets on the Turkish side and the other half on the Greek side. But yeah, roads here pretty good, I would say. Not so bad. I like this green fence here, looking pretty good. Yeah, a bit garbage on the street, which is not exactly great, I have to say. This is from 2025 September. This is 2024, so very recently. Okay, so that's exactly how it is right now. Oh, they spend some time to paint that pen. I mean, the climate is gonna be great. I think here in the south part, around this area, they have like the UK territory, but not that interesting in that in right now. Yeah, in the main towns, in the city, not exactly, I would say, great because you have apartment buildings. But look at this, there are lower apartment buildings. They have some bars here on those doors, I guess, but on the windows they are clear, so not major, let's say, crime. But they have, you can see some apartments. They use those. But not so bad. The roads looks pretty good. I like the apartments. At least they are low, not that high. So that's good. Cars here. This is 2024. Yeah, they're using small cars, and same with Greece. When I was there, not a bad idea to be honest. I'm kind of advocating right now for smaller cars from the company, especially with the electric cars that are coming. I mean, a size like this, it's more than enough. Trust me, it's more than enough for a family. I don't know, this obsession with cars over 4.5 meters. For me, it's like you don't need it, especially after 5 meters. Like that's insane. So 4.5 meters in length and 2 meters wide. It's more than enough for any family with 2 kids, and especially if those days in Europe, it's not gonna be easy to find a family with 2 kids. So yeah, small cars means more space, parking space, less material to build a car, probably cheaper with time, and more fun to drive also. So yeah, it's only advantages in that part, especially with the electric one that have the extended wheelbase with a smaller length of the car overall. Just to have even more comfort at some point. So yeah, they definitely they should have some sort of a policy in Europe that they're gonna limit the length of the car, or at least if you make wider than 2 meters or longer than 4.5, I don't know, the manufacturer has to pay some sort of a compensation or something like that for the road, especially with the weight of the cars. But yeah, overall looks nice here. I like it. The road is pretty good, not so bad. The main area, like I said, the urban one, it's a lot. But even that, when they have so many people jamming together, almost like I said, they have at least those apartment buildings that is small in height, and they're looking pretty nice. I mean, the road, yeah, they have some cracks in it, but still pretty smooth, I would say, to drive, especially for modern cars. The apartment buildings, yeah, I hate them. This one, it's pretty fucked up. But most of them, they're looking pretty good. Wow, they have some sort of a protest here. I'm not sure exactly what's happening. I don't think we ever gonna saw a protest in those street views that I make so far. But I'm not sure exactly. It's a Greek flag, not exactly Greek flag. It's young people, I guess, from schools. I'm not sure, but it's a protest. Definitely, it's a protest. They have the police patrol here. Not sure exactly why they protest, but they're there. So yeah. But overall, yeah, it looks pretty good. The cars are pretty modern, so yeah, no issues there. They have some decent. This one looks like abandoned, but it's kind of a shame because you can build some really nice house there. Yeah, these apartment buildings should be absolutely forbidden. Just should not supposed to be like that. But the small ones that we saw earlier, that's a really nice one. Even that one's a bit too high. Not sure if it's an apartment building, but that's a much better one. Yeah, it's an interesting country, I have to say. Just one half in some country jurisdiction, the other one. It's like two systems in one country. Which one is gonna go better? Who knows? This is 1500 meters elevation. It's pretty high, I have to say. The roads absolutely impeccable. Nothing bad to say there. I'm not sure exactly what's happening. Probably some olive farm. I'm not sure from above. Don't see it that clearly. Here we have some sort of a housing. Again, road impeccable for those kind of conditions. The house, it's pretty abandoned, I think. I think it's abandoned. Those houses are abandoned here, which is kind of a shame. Look at how nice they are. Nice there. The view is great. And the road is great. I'm not sure if they have electricity or water, but it looks very nice there. So see, they have the land. They cannot have a housing crisis. At least not a real one. I mean, a real housing crisis, like you have zero materials to build, you have zero land to build. That's a crisis. Okay. Pretty much zero labor, which is going to be insane, impossible to have zero labor because someone has to live in that house. Then, with good legislation, and you can allow those people to just build their own houses, and you don't have a shortage in labor. Yeah, materials, I don't think so we have. Uh, seems to have, look at this, for those guys looking plenty of materials. That looks pretty nice house. Wow, it looks better. I mean, like, just give me some Australian vibe, I have to say. It's close to that. It's close to Australia, how they build those small towns, cities, whatever you want to call it. It does look that great. I mean, it's so far, I really like it. And in the city, it's nice to live. Like I say, you don't have those nonsense apartment buildings. They are a bit lower. Not all of them, but yeah, most of them. I mean, even this one looks pretty good to me. On the countryside, even better. I mean, if you go on the beach, just it's nothing you can compete here. Let's go here on the random one, which is pretty, I would say, a lot of people going here. So yeah, it's still pretty nice. But comparing with one of those wild beaches, where we can find one, for example, this one, which is not exactly developed, it's still very nice. Yeah, I like it. They don't blur the license plates. Looking very good, Cyprus, I have to say. I never visited, but it seems to do very well for themselves there, at least from the Google map. At least, you can look at this. The roads are pretty nice done. This is 2024 at almost 800 meters elevation. I mean, it does look pretty good. And even these small towns, let's see how they live in those small towns. Wow, very European, I would say. Look at this. There it's extremely European. And nice lands. Nice buildings, I would say. And like those roads. Clearly not exactly friendly for cars, but it's manageable. And this is the Greek part, I guess. I mean, it looks very European to me. I mean, that's Europe. Just you cannot walk on the street without without I don't know, be more than 100 kilos. You can actually jam yourself between the streets. That's European. Cars not even close, but yeah, they have some cars here. I mean, it does look nice. I kind of like it. I really like it, I have to say. Of course, if I'm gonna live in a place like this, I want to live on the beach 100%. I mean, it's way too better. Unfortunately, they don't have that many 360 on those beaches. It's not on every square meter that I would like to see. Wow, they have the road right pretty much on the sea here. Okay, pretty good, I guess. Pretty good. I mean, it's nice. It's nice. I'm not sure exactly how should I compare the Greek part. I'm not sure exactly which one is which with the Turkish one, but they seem to do pretty well both parts. They seem to do okay. Don't have that much detail how the difference is between them, but they seem to do pretty. Look at this, how much street views they have, and let's check this down here. Probably the same story. Yeah, it's pretty good. They developing new houses here. Not sure exactly how the wages are here, but I don't think it's gonna be cheap to live in places like that. I mean, it looks nice, which usually it's not cheap to live. Wow, they have an orange tree right in front of your building. That's nice. I mean, you want to make a fresh juice, just go downstairs, take a few oranges, and that's it. You have you have fresh juices every morning. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, overall, I like it. It does look great. And it doesn't matter how much I'm gonna look for this in this place. I'm not gonna change my opinion. I mean, look at it. These are brand new houses built here for rich people, obviously. And look at how big they make those houses. And yeah, I'm not sure again how much it's gonna be to buy one of those houses, but I guess millions, which is again extremely high prices in this crisis. Yeah, man-made crisis. But yeah, let's go with the numbers now. Maybe we're gonna go back at some point to check them. Oh, what is happening here? Just like some abandoned ship. Oh, it's a drone. Yeah, looks pretty good. I mean, the quality of the 360 is very good. Street views, very good. Architecture, very nice. I mean, kind of like everything here. It's just we have everything. We have a decent town, not that high buildings. You have a countryside, which is pretty well done with nice building and good roads. So it's something for everybody here, I would say. If you want to move there, it's you can find something that you're gonna like. You're gonna like the city lifestyle. Yeah, you can have that. You have the country, more the quiet one. You can have that too. So let's go with the numbers. 1.3 million people and rising, as you can see, but they're going down in a growing rate. So let's see this one. 1955. Around 500,000 people living in this land with 1.5% increase rate. There'll be roughly around 8,000 people. Migration back then was 1,500 people, around that number. And median age, look at this, 22 years old. Fertility rate 3.4. Density 58 people per square kilometers. And urban area accounted for 33% of population. Urban population would be like around 171,000 people, which is pretty decent to manage, especially for the very advanced country, which I think even back then they were. I mean, they look pretty good now, so they cannot look that bad in the past, especially with like almost 3 times less population. Fast forward to 2025, 1.3 million people living in this land. Okay, so if I say almost 3 times more population. Yearly change now they got below 1%. Now it's 0.92%. That'll be roughly around 12,000 people. So yeah, again, almost double than it used to be in 1955. Net increase, but from a much higher population, that means the yearly change got down. It's an interesting trend. Migration now it's 7,000 people, so a lot of people go there. I'm not sure exactly, like I said, from the Greek part, from the Turkish part, or from other countries, but they seems to attract at least some decent numbers of population. Not as much as they used to have in 2005 when they seems to be the peak of the migration, but even back then, from then got in half in 2025. But yeah, it's interesting to see those numbers. Median age now is 38 years old. Fertility rate 1.37. So back in 1955, 3.4. It was big numbers. I mean, just over 3, it's always a big number, but it's pretty decent, especially with what we saw in Africa. But now, yeah, they got under 2 fertility rate. That means 2 things. Like I say, life is expensive, which I kind of think so, but also nice. But in the same time, it's a byproduct, I would say, of modernization, industrialization, and modern life. So yeah, we're gonna talk about. Probably I'm gonna make a video when I finish all those countries about my opinion how population could go in the future. It could go in 2 ways, to be honest. It could still growing after a period of declining, but more of that when I make the video. Urban population now it's 61%. That'll be roughly around 840,000 people to manage. So the way I see how depends how they count the urban population. Probably they count everyone in even the small towns. They're looking pretty good, so they're doing a good job there. That's yeah, it's something that anyone should take some notes. Look at this, 2050 they're gonna be 1.5 million people, so not a huge increase, but still going up. But you can see they have the land to cope with this small increase in population, I would say. But look at this 0.11% increase rate in 2050, which could be actually on the minus. They have some inflated numbers usually in the countries, and also the forecast. It's not that, let's say, reliable. Migration, it's 3,000 people, around 3,500 people per year in 2050. So yeah, they going down. Now, it could be from people that used to live, let's say, in Turkey and Greece, and maybe by 2050 they project that the condition in Turkey and Greece, they're going to improve so much, there's no need to go in Cyprus. Or maybe the Cyprus became so expensive and it became non-attractive for them, especially with the low fertility rate. It could be a combination of all of those factors, but one thing is for sure, it's like they looking pretty well there. So at least even if it's expensive to live there, it's also pretty nice. I mean, it's kind of worth it if you have to pay the price. It's not like other countries where it's extremely expensive and it's not even worth it. For example, Paris. Yearly change, like I said, 0.11%. yearly change in numbers going to be like 1,600 people, migration 3,400, median age 47 years old, so they go older pretty fast. Fertility rate, they bounce a bit up, but doesn't mean anything. 1.4, 1.5 is pretty much the same. Density, it's 163 people per square kilometers, so quite a lot, I would say. Urban population account for 68% of the population, with roughly 1 million people to manage, which is, again, pretty achievable by 2050, I would say. Life expectancy here is very high, extremely high. It's 82 years old for both sexes. Females around 84, males around 80, so they are huge numbers. What else can we see? Infant mortality is 2.5 and death at the age of 5, 2.9. Those are very low numbers. That shows that medical system is top notch, and even back then they going down with those numbers. So yeah, no problem there. The main city, thing like Nicosia, is like 200,000 people. Depends again how they count it. Could be just the main city without the metropolitan area. Usually this is how they count it, so it could be much higher than that. It doesn't even matter. We saw how they live. They're living pretty good, nice spaces, not so tall buildings. I didn't stay that much, I would say, in these areas, but it doesn't seem to have like a bad neighborhood, at least not at first, and not as we saw with other countries, which is like first time we go on the map, just boom, bad neighborhood. Here it seems to, again, pretty good. This is supposed to be the highest you can build an apartment building, in my opinion. It's like, it's perfect. You don't have to be that tall. You have parking on the streets pretty much everywhere, so you don't have to fight with the neighbors for the parking spot when you go after work, from the work. Cars looks pretty new to me, looking that bad. Trees, they have a lot of green around. Look, a lot of green. It could be better than that, but they still have some green, so it's not exactly nothing. It does look very welcoming, I would say. It's nice to live here. It's nice to walk on the streets. I'm not sure exactly how safe it would be, but I don't think they have that much problem with the safety, to be honest. So yeah, I think they're doing pretty well for themselves here. Back to the numbers. Yeah, we're gonna see how they're gonna do in demographic pyramid. Well, you can see that glowing fertility rate. You can see it right here. And the base is very narrow and very shaky, I would say. They have a huge male surplus population. Again, probably they are male workers, I would say. And after the age of 54, they go in a female surplus population. So yeah, definitely some male, but even at the birth, they have some male population surplus, as you can see with many countries. But here between, let's say, 18 and 20, and until the age of 50, 52, clearly those are migrant to work there, or who knows, maybe refugees in these highlands. They could have that too. Economic wise, well, interesting to see how they doing. So let's go with numbers. GDP, 40 billion US dollars and 61 billion PPP US dollars. Those are really low economies, but again, keep in mind, it's not a huge countries in the same place. Growing rate is 3.6, 3.9, 2.9. So again, pretty decent. But look at this, per capita is 42,000 US dollars nominal and 65,000 US dollars PPP. So they're doing pretty decent there. They are expensive. There is a difference between nominal and PPP, but still, it's probably an expensive place to live. Agriculture is 2%, industry 12%, and services 85%. Yeah, a lot. Inflation, wow, minus 0.3%. So it's pretty much deflation. I don't think we saw that ever in a European country or a developing country, so that's interesting for them. This is October 2025, but I guess overall so far on the 2025 they have like 0.7 increase, which is, I mean, it's an increase. I don't like it, but it's way less than we have pretty much all over Europe. What else can we find here? Yeah, pretty developed. I mean, like, I don't have any worries about those people. Unemployment in September was 4.9, pretty high, I would say. And overall, 4.5. Youth unemployment 17%. I'm not sure exactly how they're gonna integrate those, because when you go on the market, on a job market or labor market, they ask for experience. Like, you are like 20 years old and they want like 10 years experience or whatever you try to apply, which is insane. Even if you're like 30 years old, you still they asking for like 15 years experience. Like, I think I wasn't born with experience. I have to I have to persevere in whatever domain I want to move, even it's a new one, so I can have like time to accumulate this experience, these years of experience, which they somehow they don't give a fuck. Right now with Europe, it's not a worker market for jobs, just an employer one. They have the advantages, but we'll see how that's gonna go, how much it's gonna last, because usually they change it pretty quickly. The average net salary probably per year, I would say, yeah, annually 2018 was 17,000 euros. Sorry, I think it's in euros. Everything is euros or US? No, GDP was in US dollars. This one it's in euros. Not so bad, especially from 2018, and probably by now it's gonna be at least 25, I would say, maybe even 36 would be nice. But again, with that much money in circulation, and the population is still going up, yeah, probably again life it would be pretty expensive there. They export a lot to Hong Kong and Greece, Lebanon, and United Kingdom, and they import a lot from Greece, Turkey, and Italy. So I guess they have a better relationship with Greece from those numbers, but yeah, pretty interesting. Let's go now with the corruption side. Well, corruption in Cyprus, probably I expect like anything like we see the European countries, so not extremely low, like 56 points, and they up 3 points, which is good. 53 is less perceived as less corrupt, but still very, it's like borderline. So yeah, not exactly a good start, I would say, for them in a corruption index. They doing pretty bad. They clearly can make more in that department. They have a pretty high corruption, especially by the Western standards, I would say, or at least how it's supposed to be. Let's go in with that. What else can we find here? Well, like I say, capital, it's Nicosia. Larger city, it's Limassol. I think I don't speak exactly Limassol, I think, yeah. Official language is Greek and Turkish. Makes sense. What else? 72% are Christians and 25% Islam. So I was assuming, like, again, the Greece have a majority of the island, and also the population speak more Greece than Turkish. Those are some interesting mine here. They have some nice historic sites. They're looking pretty good. Like I say, they are a very nice place to. Yeah, this is the war. It's a very nice place to live so far. It's like I can say. I mean, like, when I say nice to live, I like how the city are designed. I like the beach that they have. I like the weather. We don't count for the economic factors when I say that, because it varies with time. But even the climate of the country is for a long period of time. The landscape, the architecture, those they last much more than the economy for sure. So that's why when I say they doing better in that department. Wow, they have even winters here. That's pretty good. You can ski there. That's nice. They have some official meetings. Here again, those stone buildings, I think they're made of stone. I'm not sure they last forever. Which is pretty good. Cyprus part of the monetary union with Eurozone, dark blue. So they're using euros even here. So like I say, very European integrated. Yeah, they look very nice. I mean, yeah, like I say, very European. Nice streets, nice cities, nice town, nice roads, nice beaches, nice climate. It's pretty good. It's pretty good for them, as you can see even here. Like I say, going randomly on the map, like I say, I don't choose good side, I don't choose bad side, and always seems to do pretty well wherever we go here. So yeah, I mean, look at this. Pretty much, this is October 2024. No traffic, and I like those. When they build those apartments, they build the parking at the ground level, so you can actually see the car. Should be like a story less, it will look much better, but I like you can keep the car in the shade there. And also, if you have a hailstorm outside, you don't worry about your cars, your windshield getting cracked and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, overall they build a lot. I'm not sure exactly how cheap it's gonna be here, but I have a feeling that it's not gonna be cheap. But with time, we're gonna see how that's gonna go. Yeah, overall, it looks pretty good. They have some garbage here, each and there, like I say, not absolutely perfect, but still way better than we see even now in the Western Europe in some cases. Paris, for example. Otherwise, yeah, it seems to be a nice place to live, I have to say. Not sure exactly how easy you're gonna find a job, but judging by that youth unemployment, it's not gonna be exactly that easy. And overall unemployment at 5%. still pretty high. But yeah, it's a nice, it looks nice. Just, yeah, it's great, I would say. So if you live here, just leave a comment, say how things are there, because I'm actually curious at this one. It looks very nice from above. But usually, like I say, on the ground level, they have some differences even in those very developed countries. But yeah, if you are from Cyprus and you watch this video, leave a comment, say how things are there, and check the other videos that I make. So that's it, I guess. See you next time.